Hey Kevin, Kerry here. It is for Tuesday, March 26th. You should be seeing the CQG right now. I think what I'll do is I'll just start in the one, well, we have actually two different market positions now. And I'll open up wheat, take a quick look. 484 half. Now the 71 and a quarter is a trend line off these lows, if you remember. I'm not going to take you to the CQG because it's pretty simple, just across the September and then November low. And we've been hitting it the last couple of days. If we close above it tomorrow, I think 84 half is likely within 1, 2, 3 days at the most. And that is an area that can contain weekly buying pressures. The significant area is in the low $5, 504 and a quarter, 512 and 3/4. So if we watch the market settle above 84 half tomorrow, for instance, or say later in the week. Now I'm all for unloading that final call here, if you like. I really am. You know, there's not we've made 75% of the possible, well, anything is possible, but the projected returns, because 504 and a quarter to 512 and 3/4 is the ultimate target, but will we get there is always the big question. So we could talk about that tomorrow. 459 even is just the simple channel bottom. I'll take you there here real quick. God damn it, that was the weekly chart. That's not what I wanted. Daily chart, here it is. So this 459 even, really 459 and a quarter. Now, do we want to wait for a settlement below 48 half? Because I think this actually has an equal chance of holding, but hard to say. You know, we can talk about this too. If the market drops tomorrow, do we get out with a break or settlement below 59 even? Or is it more below this 48 half, which climbs to 50 half, which climbs to 52 half later in the week? So we could talk about that. But as I've been saying, if we've waited this long, and I sort of talked you in, I think, to waiting for the settlement above this trend line, which is in the low 70s, might as well wait for 84 half. Anyway, that's wheat. Let's talk about this cattle spread. 330. We close at 320. So there's our ceiling tomorrow. If we close above it, certainly if we close above 340, the high of the low so far since the high was made, that's a buy signal. Let's put it this way. If we close above 340, there's kind of a no look back. Weekly, good weekly low, bullish continuation in the 4.6, I think. I forget what numbers I have, but this is our pivot point 3.3, below which this area is likely over the next few weeks, 1.750. And while I'm in there, lean hog still bullish. We kind of settled unchanged, 92.20 long-term weekly channel top. We are now well above. I'm not even going to go into this right now. Just know that 92.20 is our base of support, and above which the 99 handle expected over the next week or two, the 108 handle by the end of May, maybe sooner, so forth and so on. 92.20 base of support. Let's talk feeder cattle daily. We did close below that speed line. This has become a volatile market. But look, we've got all kinds of stuff here. You know, this becomes kind of difficult. You know, you got a channel structure here. I don't even know where it's at. It's in the low 150s. You've got, yeah. All these numbers are accounted for, by the way, but they're just like minor or intraday containment. This one is 149.90 tomorrow. That 148 though and change area. And let's take a look at feeder cattle. Dang it. Hold on a second here. So 148.57 is the area that's our base of support. And inside this whole area, I got 149.90, 150.17. So this whole area is just one huge area. If we actually close below 148.57, I think that the chances are very good that this market will continue south. So we could play the opposite or consider playing the opposite if that were to occur. Until then, this is buy pullbacks time, despite the settlement yesterday below 151.07. Let me get out of here completely. Feeder cattle, live cattle. Well, I'm going to show, You know, actually, I think it's probably best just to show the newsletter. Wait, I tried doing that. Bear with me. This is all screwed up. Sorry about that. These are all these weird Word documents with the macro formulas in them. Here's our support. I didn't label that right. 117.22 to 118.40. This is actually projected now. Below 121.22. It's actually projected below 123.75 over the next 2 to 3 weeks, but really, possibly this week below 121.22. And this is an area I'm fine buying into. So we can talk about that as well. Now the buy signal, as I've been saying, I'm waiting for an August settlement buy signal before assuming any follow through strength in June, and I can reacquaint you. Actually, I don't think I'm even showing that today. I think what I'm showing is, oh yeah, 120.55. This is our breakout to the upside. If we close above that, we get on board the long side for this market. Calls, futures, whatever. 118.15 though, we settled below it today. It was 05 today. And as long as we're below it, we should continue down in what remains a kind of a 2 to 3 week downside target below 120.55 with 114.27 to 115.57. This area is attainable over the next 3 to 5 days, and it can absorb selling through April, through May even. So something to talk about in terms of resting bids or whatever the case might be. So there's cattle. Short-term weakness should test long-term support in the next week or two. So I've got the meats covered. Crude oil, I'm not even going to go into it because we're already aware. It's well above the market now, 62, low 62 handle long-term resistance. And I don't see us testing weekly support this week. So we're kind of in the middle of no man's land right now. But, you know, we're still anticipating 61.5, 62 even resistance rising a little bit every week. May corn is actually approaching an area I wouldn't be uncomfortable selling. And it's this 385 and a quarter. We could test it today. It's a combination channel top, which is actually 383 and 3/4, and 385 and a quarter descending 1/3 speed line off that high from last last spring. And so I think it's a good short sale area for May corn. I think we could set an offer up there. You want to buy puts, whatever the case might be. And inversely, I think we should be equally aggressive with a buy above it, because then we're going to continue. You know, we might give up a few cents on a reversal if it occurs, but then we've got another 12 to 13 cent rally. So we should more than make up for it if we reverse. And I would recommend reversing if we were wrong. Until then, this is an area to stick our neck out at, short sale. And I think the market would consolidate for maybe a week, but I do think there's a decent chance it'll head south again, below 385 and a quarter. Just thinking if I need to list these. Let me see, corn, soy meal. I think I told you I was going to change all my resistance into the mid 320s. I don't know if we'll get there, but if we do, it's a great area to participate in up in here. 25.2, 26.4 illustrated here, 25.2 illustrated here. So we are away from that right now. Soybeans, nothing going. I'm not even going to show you. You can look at the chart. So everything's there. There's nothing to do right now in beans. S&Ps, I think I was telling you today, I'm not interested in doing the S&Ps until or unless we can settle the week above 28, 29.5. Hopefully it'll be illustrated here. Here we are. Same old crap. That's at 32 tomorrow. I think it's 28.5 for the week, 29.5. But anyway, we settled above on a daily basis, but on a weekly basis we did not, a mere test. So if we close the week above it, off we go. But this is an early part of the week, so it's almost not even worth mentioning. So take a look at Canadian real quick. markets recovered, settled higher on Monday. It's higher again on Tuesday. We could get up into this 75.43 area over the next day, 2 or 3. You know, one test, two test. Well, that's not really a channel top test. Here's the first test. I don't know if they keep. I'm back to. Let's wait for the settlement above 75.43. Not going to happen tomorrow, but it may happen above 75.38 the next day. That's a nice buy signal into the 77 handle, as I've been saying. Until this 75.43 dropping daily is our ceiling, and as I've been saying, we should get down what is tomorrow at 73.68 over the next week or two. Japanese yen. I'm just going to skip over these because I know we're not interested right now. We'll take a quick look at the euro currency. It's backed off. This is our breakout. Nothing going there. Canadian dollar, gold. There it is. 1304.6 on Tuesday. Base of support. So buy signal above, holding above rather, is bullish. Buy signal, next buy signal is a settlement above 32.8. If we settle below that, the market heads south, but it doesn't appear to want to do that anytime soon. The emphasis is still up here. The emphasis is still up here. And our next follow-through buy signal would be a settlement tomorrow above 1332.8. So we can keep that in mind if you like. That should be good for a 2 to 3 week blast up into the 1380s or 90s. Silver, anything? Not much. My arrow is in the way, but you can see there's nothing going. Copper, it backed off. Now it's right at this channel. I don't think there's any interest in participating in this. So I'll just show you the graph. Platinum's higher. Nothing going though really as well. By the way, platinum, the way I see it, this little, wedge here, if you want to call it that, is our resistance area. Channel top, rising channel top, midterm, descending channel top, long term, upper $8 area is our significant resistance in platinum. Okay, here's something interesting. We've got a buy signal in the 10-year, as you're well aware. That occurred last Friday. There's a bit of follow through on Monday. Weekly, sorry. Yeah, same difference really. Last week, this week. A little higher this week. Expecting 126 and change. Got another 2 points rally to the upside to reach it. Now, the 30-year pushed through today, but slip back below. This is a weekly level. Let me just pull up the daily here and see what we see. All right, time to change setup. Chart preferences, damn it. Come on. What is going on here? Okay. Active rollover, boom. Okay. All right, active daily. Okay, I'm going to pull up the same structure on the, see what we get. There it is. All right, so we'll zoom in here a bit. Push through today, holding so far overnight. It is at 149.06 on Tuesday, 149.05 on Wednesday. I'm open to buying this with a daily settlement above. I just am. I think that's be an early lead on a 30-year buy signal that is already underway in the 10-year. And what I like about this buy signal, and we would want to see how the week settles in relation to this 149.07, which is the same exact structure, but we have a buy signal already with this descending flag. So that's already in play. We have a buy signal at 10-year. The final shoe to drop, in my opinion, could be a settlement above this daily resistance, which is at 149.06 half. There's not a half. 149.06 tomorrow. If we close above 149.06, I say let's go long. Let's go long the 30-year until we're wrong, because what we're looking for, I mean, this is a significant, much more significant than 10-year. This is a 12-handle rally. That's 12 grand on a one lot if we hold it for a month or 2 or 3. All right, just looked at the 10-year buy signal underway. NASDAQ, backed off of this resistance area. That's at 75.42 this week. Closing above the NASDAQ is a worthy buy signal. It's very similar to the S&P, and what I like about the NASDAQ is that that formation held nicely last week. So there's a more technical clarity here. So if we want to go long the stock market, I say we go long NASDAQ with a weekly settlement Friday above 75.42. Okie dokie. So I did some sugar. Oh, let me go back to the feeder cattle. I got to show you this. God damn it. Where is it? Feeder cattle weekly. Here we are. Okay, good. Here's that feeder cattle index. So, you know, there's this thing goes way back, of course, you know, and I didn't even do a, well, maybe I did. That must be the speed line. Bear with me. Yeah, that's 2/3 speed line. Yep, that's the 2/3 speed line. Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm looking at the goddamn, excuse me. Sorry about that. I'm looking at the feeder cattle, the underlying. Sorry. Let me take a look at this here real quick. Don't mean to drag you through all that, but yeah, we're nowhere near this speed line right now. Wait, I take that back. I think I drew this in the last chart. Eyeballing this. Am I losing my mind? I know I drew that somewhere, probably in another graph. But anyway, we are, let's just, for all intents and purposes, this is a guesstimate. This is at 149.78 this week. But preceding it, and these numbers you say come out weekly, yes? Is that it? Why do I have a, these are all weekly. Why am I showing an open high, low close on this? Anyway, you can school me on that tomorrow. For this week, 141.80. We have a reversal here, by the way, which you wouldn't be surprised about. Closing above 141.36, I think we should expect at least this 146.73 and possibly this 149 handle resistance. I'm going to redraw this. I'm going to get exact. 2/3, not exact. Just write that for myself. And I'll redo that, but we're well above it right now. And as far as support goes, this channel structure here, 131.96. This is more significant, of course. This is a structure that could hold selling into summer. And these are our little buy signals on the way up. We already kind of have one right now. I say, well, this is an index. This is just giving us guidance, right? We're not even trading this. So anyway, we can talk about this. We can walk through this tomorrow if you like. Let me then jump down. I did a real quick analysis of sugar, cocoa, and coffee. And we are a full 18 minutes into this. So here, this is weekly sugar. You can, if you go back in time, you can see around the same time, we settled not only above this channel top, but even above the 1/3 speed line, barely for a week or two. So we got, you know, we got a bit of a buy signal and they backed off. And then we definitely got buy signals again and we've backed off. And so what we have now is a parallel structure off of this high. And so technically we keep farting around with these more longer term speed line and channel top. But I say the next buy signal is really a settlement above this 13.2. And then the question is how high? You know, that could be anybody's guess, but quite possibly this is a combination descending 2/3 speed line and channel top. So quite possibly the upper 17s with a weekly settlement above 13.20. Until then, this market's just meandering. There's nothing to do. And if we get the chance, we could consider buying 1106, which is a channel structure that could contain monthly at the very least, possibly several months of selling pressures. And the settlement below would be heavy. Then, you know, we're probably anticipating this channel bottom or this trend line down here. So there's sugar. Nothing to do but worth watching is the way I would phrase that. Cocoa. Cocoa is, you know, I've got charts going back. This one goes back in time. I'm just doing simple trend lines, trying to get a sense of this market. You know, you've got this kind of narrowing consolidation that's occurred since, you know, this is August of last year. This goes back, you know, 9 months. So near term, this is the only thing worth doing that I can see. You buy 2040, sell below it, but buy 2040. I'm actually quite, I think that's a good zone to buy into if given the chance over the next week or two. And there's really nothing to do in terms of buying until we say get above 2357. And then the question is how high then? You know, you've got trend lines 2357. Well, that's the problem with these consolidations because you can make a case for everything. Above 2347, we got these are like 3 to 5 week signals. We could participate in them if we were interested in a 3 to 5 week signal. So the low 25s with a settlement above 2357. Until then, you've got a support area that may be in reach around 2040 over the coming weeks. There's just not a lot going on here that I would be comfortable pursuing with aggression. Finally, coffee. This coffee chart goes back to 94. You got this long-term horizontal structure. You've got this trend line. I mean, this sucker, it's pretty amazing. It's just, it held here. This is actually inaccurate. I can see that already. This channel structure. Come on, show me that. There it is. All right. We're not going to see this anytime soon. And there's all kinds of stuff up here. Descending trend lines up in the 119. I think I have them labeled on some of the charts. This is coffee still. So you got these little areas. This is a blown up chart. You've got resistance here, buy signal above, resistance here, buy signal above. It's a weak market, no doubt about it. I mean, we settled below this low area. It goes back to here. Got a double bottom. We're now below it. After a lot of consolidation and back and forth, the volatility is crapped out of this thing. And, the question is what to do. The only time from our perspective, I don't think I'd ever trade this where it is right now under these circumstances. This is our big resistance area, but we're probably not going to see that this year. This is the channel bottom. It's also a channel bottom, in the 86 area. So we could consider buying that, but what kind of a bounce could you get? I don't know. We're taking a look. We're getting familiar with its condition and its structure, and I think you and I would both agree there's not a whole lot worth pursuing aggressively because there's no signals, but I think we just keep watching them. I think that's really what we do with all these markets. I think what's happening over the last number of weeks is I keep throwing these charts at you. Many of them never really change, but we increasingly, by little marginal degrees, get ever more accustomed to the way they look and the way they feel. And I think over time, months down the road, that'll really pay off because we'll see things develop that we have been missing really all along. So I didn't create any ones for you. We're in wheat. We can talk about, do you want to buy cattle? Do you want to buy cattle calls in the 148, 149 handle? Live cattle spread, we're short. Lean hogs stay long above 92.20. Live cattle market in summary, stay short below 120.55 August if you're not short. Or how should I put this? Don't go long until we settle above 120.50 August contract, or we get down into that upper teens in the June contract, that support area that I actually forget about right now, but you know what I'm talking about. There are 4-star support levels that are currently like a 1 to 2 week downside target. Crude oil, nothing going. May wheat, let's look at 385.25. That's a 1. Feeder cattle could be considered a 1. Nothing going right now in live cattle because we kind of missed that. I mean, we tried. We gave the good old college try shorting that channel top. We just got chopped up a bit. In hindsight, we talked about just let's sell the AUG contract. I know that came out of your mouth, but I never pushed it. We never did it. Bean meal, nothing to do. Soybeans, nothing to do. Trust me, you can look at the charts on the newsletters themselves if you don't believe me. Daily wheat, we just covered that. Let's consider unloading that call in the mid 480s, wherever that price is. S&P 500 is a buy on Friday above, 28, 29.5, I believe, somewhere in there. And, we got gold, so forth and so on. We're on it. If you want to get on and share charts tomorrow and on Skype, I'm here. Thinking out loud. Yeah, I'm here in the morning. I'm not going to go skiing, but I do have to dart off around 10 o'clock. That would be 9 o'clock for you. So we'll talk in the morning, and otherwise, have a nice evening. Thanks.